wireless company that actually stands for something. And one more thing. Merry Christmas.
Go home to the NFL. WGSX Lynn Haven. WFLQ Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida. Powered by Panama City Toyota. And newest sports talk host.
Hey, there's the new guy.
Paul Wilson.
That is not winning football.
Paul is your pipeline to the heart of the action.
The defense can only play this good for so long.
Hot takes, big reactions, and your calls are incoming.
This week, it's really going to be crucial.
The Sports Blitz.
They're playing championship football.
The new Sports Blitz.
You can say what you want.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so glad today that you've joined us on a Monday. And we're pumped up and ready to go. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. As always on a Monday, we've got Brian Haddad in the building. Brian, how you doing today?
Doing well. Ready for the new year.
Oh, yeah. And as always on a Monday, we got Jeffrey in the building. Jeffrey, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good? Yeah. And for the first time, and I'd say in a long time, Randy in the building running the ones and twos, giving us
the last time either, buddy.
That's right. Giving us a little bit more music than we're used to, but we're excited.
Love it. Love it.
We're pumped up
Go
about
big
that.
or go home.
That's right. So either way, guys, welcome back on this Monday after Christmas. And Brian, I'm going to start with you. How was your Christmas?
It was good. Got to go back home for a day and a half or so and race back here for day after Christmas shopping over at PCB Hobby. But no, it was good. It was a good chance to see my dad and my brother, and might have even helped the economy of southern Mississippi a little bit while I was over there.
I wonder, did you partake in any buffets?
No. We were doing good early, so we went to Morton's, and then the night turned after that. But that's all right. Got the meal in, so it was
there
good.
You go. Well, that's good. Jeffrey, how was your Christmas?
It was good. I enjoyed some live music and some free wine. You know, as a church.
Wow. Well, that explains it all right there. Randy, how was your Christmas? You have a good one?
Uneventful.
What?
Yeah, it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Uneventful.
Wow, that's awesome. That's
had a
great.
great time. Got everything done out of the way and enjoyed the time off.
There you go. Well, we had all of the kids there at the house staying, and man, we had a great time. It was good. My wife got to do the cooking that she always wanted to do. So usually we had been living in a condo for so long that we were all on top of each other, for the most part in the condo. But now that we live in a house, now that everybody can come over and have a good time. So it was really good.
Is it similar, the Christmas food, is it similar to the Thanksgiving food?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of, you can add your, different stuff that you like.
Is it un-American to not have turkey?
No, I think if you have turkey on Thanksgiving, a lot of times people will do the opposite, maybe have a ham or a Boston Bud or something like that on Christmas. Okay. So I thought...
My dad did not. My dad's from Mississippi, and he did not like turkey. So we ate steak and potatoes every Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Well, that's good.
Growing up.
We've done prime rib Christmases before. Yeah. We've done seafood Christmases, which are great.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we actually did a seafood Thanksgiving this year, so did a jambalaya, and it was good.
That's real good. So, I just think it's whatever you want it to be. You know what I mean? You can do, I prefer what Brian's talking about for the most part every time, because I'm not a big, turkey, I can eat it once a year, and I'm good. I don't have to do it anymore. But we didn't do like the traditional big old turkey. We just did like turkey breast in the oven instead of, the whole thing. So, but it was great. A lot of stuff happened over the weekend, though, and we got to talk about it.
Pop-Tart Bowl.
The Michigan Wolverines have hired Kyle Whittingham as their new head coach. And so we did not make it past the weekend before they hired a new coach. I was surprised. I was thinking they were going to wait till the playoffs. If Kalen DeBoer was really an option at the time after they won against Oklahoma, which I didn't believe that he was. I thought maybe at the beginning he was, but after things kind of went the way that it did and I saw a little bit, I thought maybe. But that kind of secluded him going there I believe it was due to winning. I think he saved his job by winning. I don't think Alabama was going to let him go, but I do think that there was a possibility that if Michigan was to throw him enough money, that there's a possibility that he went. So
on a scale of 1 to 10, this Michigan hire compared to the Penn State hire, how do you rank it? Is it like Michigan's a 9 and then Penn State's like a 7?
I'll say they're both 7s.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think you got anything better except for just age with Matt Campbell than you do, because I think they're both the same coach. I think they know how to win football games once they figure a coach's tendencies out. Probably, I'm going to give the nudge to Whittingham just because of his ability to, maybe find some better prospects and have more money at Michigan.
I think there's one difference is that Campbell coming from Iowa State, he's doing more with less.
Yeah. And the thing is like with, say, for example, coaches that go to these smaller schools and do really well, but then go to the big ones and the job's too big for them.
Yep.
I think that is something that could possibly be Matt Campbell's deal. I think he could turn around and be a Billy Napier, but he also could turn around and possibly be, somebody that, is decent. Like he could really be what they already had, wins 10 games, but can't win the big one type deal with what they had. So,
or up and down like a Brent Venables.
Yeah, just, maybe good one year, not so good. Mm-hmm. But to me, I think Whittingham is probably going to be able to steady the ship. He's an older man. I think he'll be able to keep some of the people that they wanted him to keep. Some of their stars. Obviously, they're going to lose some people. Everybody's going to lose people.
Always.
And so with that being said, I don't think he's going to be a long-term coach because of his age, but I do believe the 3 to 5 year area in which he signed a 5-year contract. So if he can win and possibly be in games against Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State, I think they'll give him the pass as long as he's not, sleeping around or playing on TikTok.
No,
you know what I mean?
I think a lot of what you guys said I would agree with. I think when I look at the hires, I look at the situation that the club is in and how does that fulfill the need, short-term, long-term, all the above. Whittingham is exactly the right candidate for the situation Michigan's in. I want to preface this by saying it's not as severe an instance, but Bill O'Brien was absolutely necessary at Penn State at the time he went there. Mm-hmm. That was critical to Penn State recovering. He was exactly the right guy. It was, I think he did 3 years.
Yeah.
That was it. I view this similarly. For what they're about to go through, they need a steady hand, a guy with a lot of experience, a guy with a lot of authority, a guy who knows how to get this done at multiple levels. I think he's perfect. And I agree with you. I don't think he goes beyond 5 years, but he's exactly what they need right now. Penn State could be a good long-term hire, but I think they take a few initial steps back while Campbell kind of adjusts to a totally different type of job. Mm-hmm. The thing is, Campbell could end up being perfect. He could end up being the Urban Meyer moving from Utah to Florida. Wow. But he also could be the Dan Mullen going from Mississippi State to Florida and just trying to develop 3 stars and that not being what Florida is used to. Penn State, to me, needed to take that last step with the guy who's proven they can win the national championship. That's where they were. They let it go too long. It wrecked their recruiting class. They lost a lot of players out who were following Franklin, and now maybe it's a good long-term hire, but for the next couple of years, if Campbell can get through that and Penn State fans give him a little patience, it might end up all right. But I'm not as sure about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Are the fans going to be able to understand what's happened? Because all of those kids that are leaving Penn State when Matt Campbell comes, he's got to be able to get some kids in. And obviously his quarterback at Iowa State is in the portal, so there's a chance that he's going to bring. And the thing is, what do y'all think about this? When you have something happen like that and you're losing a bunch of kids, wouldn't it bear witness to maybe bring people that you're more familiar with, maybe that you used to coach, that you can trust them and that they'll know what you're trying to accomplish, even if they're not the 5-star quarterback that can lead your team to the next level?
That's what I was going to say. Now it depends on what is the difference in program. I mean, Rocco Becht was great at Iowa State. Is he a Penn State quarterback? I don't know.
That's the key.
I mean, Penn State hadn't had great quarterback play the last 10 years, so maybe he fits in fine. Same thing kind of with all these other guys is you're talking about, let's take John Summerall. I know we're not talking about this specific situation, but the players at Tulane going to Florida, I would argue not all of them coming over makes much sense.
No. Mm-hmm.
If it's a somewhat apples to apples comparison, or you have unique situation like what Michigan may be going through, yeah, maybe bringing a few guys from Utah would work. So everything is situational, but there are some instances where, yeah, you're familiar with them, but you're talking about bringing somebody in from a group of 5 into like the SEC or the Big Ten. It may just be apples and oranges, and you probably do worse bringing your people in.
Yeah, I don't think you can bring a big amount of your people, and definitely I don't think you're going to be able to bring in like your offensive lineman. That's the real big position that I don't think you can bring in that'll translate.
I don't know. Iowa State's got some big lines.
I don't think they translate.
But look, I mean, Parker Brailsford came from Washington to Alabama, and he's been the anchor of that line when he hasn't been injured.
Right.
So, I mean, it
can
can work. It's less likely to happen.
I just think that's where it's the difference. From SEC play, you're always going to have athletes. You can have athletes on both sides of the ball, but realistically, in the trenches is where you've got to make sure that you're getting the right transfers. I'm not talking about people that are already in the program or people that, 5 stars that are coming in that you've got to develop. I'm talking about, you can't take this 290-pound offensive lineman that was great for you because it's a different style of ball.
And I think you'll agree with this, Jeff, is the biggest thing you've got to do if you're going to bring in guys like that, especially year one when you're trying to establish yourself, you need to bring good culture guys with you.
Yeah.
Because you've got to snap that locker room around into the culture you're trying to create right away. Norvell got lucky he got a second year because his first year he didn't have them.
True.
Second year, then it settled out. He got a good locker room environment, and look what happened. So, and then that led into year 3. So,
well, I'm going to say one thing. Iowa people, they have good culture.
Yeah,
and they have big linemen.
Yeah.
They have hung in there with the Hawkeyes every year. They don't struggle with Iowa, and that's who Penn State will be playing.
Yeah.
I think it's the exact opposite. I think if you're going to bring anybody over, it should be the linemen because they got good corn-fed boys. Am I right?
I mean, yeah, you got a point. I'm just saying, I was mainly just saying to be able to be elite, you just have to be very careful who you bring from the old team because
I get that.
They might have excelled over here, whereas over here, week in, week out, they can't.
There's running backs, especially, that have looked great at Iowa State. They go to the pros and we're like, okay, they're top 40, but they look great at Iowa State. Coming over into the Big Ten, I do understand that's going to be a bit of a difference because you know how the grind is in the Big Ten.
Yeah. Well, and let's talk about I'm glad you brought it up because that was one of the things on the docket for the day is talking about how that is starting to look like John Summerall because there's a lot more people going into the portal and it's huge right now. The portal is it's unbelievable. Number one, I don't love it, but it is what it is. It's where we are today. And you really got to think about it. Do you really believe with all of the coaching people that Summerall has hired that he is looking at bringing those people from Tulane over?
Not necessarily. I'm just my point was to the vast difference, and we saw it in the playoff game. The vast difference in talent. So a lot of those guys wouldn't necessarily translate over. The one thing I will say, everybody freaks out when a ton of people get in the portal, and I understand it, but the last thing you truly want if you're Florida is, the rebuild to take longer. And if you have in the first year that group that's still hanging on to the old regime and undermining you because you're new and you're different and they feel like you just got here and this, that, or the other. It's unfair to put it on one person, so I apologize ahead of it. It's the James Blackman at Florida State kind of thing.
Yeah.
He was never bought into Norvell's kind of situation. He tried to do the right thing by the players and keep a few of those guys around, and it backfired on him. You know, not that James is a bad guy. It was just never going to work. He'd been there longer, whatever. Sometimes cleaning a lot of those players out is better for you in getting the rebuild started and on the right foot, and thus will not take as long to get it fully established. But it's going to be a painful first 6 games for sure, and probably first year and a half for Florida.
And you got to, even though the schedule is friendlier this year.
It's friendlier.
It's friendlier. Very friendly. And
October.
October's where it's going to get tough. But, but when you look at how it's all set up, they needed that. They are going to need, the Gators need to have some cupcake in their schedule. But let me just say this, because we've always talked about how Missouri and Vanderbilt and all these teams have been weak, and we base that off of our schedules. Now they're tougher. What team is going to be tougher this year? Because we all thought South Carolina this year coming into the season was possibly going to be a playoff team with possibly having Lenore Sellers leading the way. Everybody was high on him. Everybody was. Top 5 in the SEC of quarterback position.
You know what the problem with a lot of shows that pick, this team will go 8-4, this team will go 7-5, is they have to go through the schedule and say, okay, these are the 4 games going to lose. Because a lot of what these people who are predicting stuff at the beginning of the season is that they're saying that these teams will win these games, but then they're saying that the other team will win those games. Yeah. And South Carolina was one of those teams where I was like, looking at it like, well, which 4 games are they going to lose to get to 8-4? Because I didn't believe they were going to the playoffs this year. But I thought 8-4 made logical sense. And I was wrong on that one. I was also wrong on Vanderbilt.
But you also thought they were going to be good. South Carolina.
South Carolina, 6-6.
You know what's hard, though, for us? We all came up in the time where you could literally look at last year and have a pretty good sense of what next year was going to be.
That's right. That's
and
the
we're
point.
still, I think, in that mindset, like just naturally. Yeah. You didn't like that. You have to look at so many factors now. Transfers in, transfers out, talent versus why were they transferring out? Were they a problem? How does this group mesh? And you won't know all of that. Hell, half the time the coaches don't. I've seen more times in the last 3 years where coaches, you can tell it wasn't coach speak. We're going to be pretty good this year. They legitimately thought, this is the best team I've had.
Yes.
And they were awful.
Yeah.
Like usually you think a coach knows what he's got. I looked at Dabo Swinney, things that he said this year. He legitimately thought this was a team up there with some of his best teams. Just didn't work out that way. So it's even fooling the guys in the locker room. So it's a tough get to try and figure out what you're going to do.
And when it happens that way, when the coaches are saying the things that we take their speech for face value because we've known them for so long. Dabo Swinney has been in this game for a long time. He knows what a good football team looks like. Yeah. So we trusted him. Yeah. We even trusted what he had at quarterback. Yeah. A lot of people did.
And in some of them, you didn't trust them. Yeah. Like Brent Venables.
No. Yeah.
I mean,
he was on the list of possibly getting fired at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And you know what's amazing about Oklahoma? I read a great story. I can't remember who had it, Outkick or Saturdays Down South. Somebody had it. But it was about Jaden Ott, who was probably the best running back transfer in the portal last year, came from Cal to Oklahoma. You've never heard of him. Yeah. He hardly played. And they're starting to think this is going to be symptomatic of transfer issues going forward. A guy who may not necessarily go on to the next level, just cashing in and kind of losing that fire for football. Jaden Ott was not on the injury reports. He had a little bang up in the beginning of the season, but he was available and wasn't playing. This was a guy who was the top transfer running back out there who was like all Pac-12 as a freshman. I mean, it was amazing. So, you never know on some of those guys, and yet they still did it. But think about if they had a running game.
Yeah.
What they could have done.
Or if they didn't have a pick six right before halftime,
that wouldn't.
They could have been
maybe
almost
they would have
Alabama's
run it and not
equal.
thrown it.
They could have been Alabama's equal this year.
It definitely was inept for their offense. Their offense became inept. But let me just say this before we take a break. You thought the Christmas gift box prizes was over with. Guess what? It's not. It's still 2025, baby. And we are going to be giving it away after 5 o'clock today. Buffalo Rock 12-pack of your choice, Anytime Fitness, free membership for 30 days, $100 recommended body shop, collision center, anything you want done there, they'll give you $100 to come in.
Except blinker fluid.
Because it's not offered. That boot store, $25. Also, $25 Lone Star Boil House. So there you go. We've got that we're going to be giving away at the top of the hour. When we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit more of this college football. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Alabama Crimson Tide and the Indiana Hoosiers will meet for the first time this Thursday in the Rose Bowl. It's a college football playoff quarterfinal.
Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins!
We'll have live play-by-play from Pasadena starting at 3 right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Partly cloudy the rest of the day with temps near 59 and a wind 15 to 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a blustery wind out of the north and a temperature of 39. Much colder tomorrow, around 52 with sunshine and a wind coming out of the north-northwest at 15 miles per hour. Sunny Wednesday, a gentle breeze and warm around 56. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
For exciting college football, the best boiled seafood, and the most game day fun, it's Lone Star Boil House. Watch the games on their huge Jumbotron. Challenge your friends to beer pong, cornhole, and oversized Connect 4 in their new adult lounge. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for incredible wings, the best boiled seafood, and a new breakfast menu. Saturday and Sunday starting at 9. Crush the follow on Facebook to catch huge game day specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish, Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597. That's 850-896-6597. And online at wheelhousedba.com.
The college football playoff quarterfinals.
Let's go!
First on New Year's Eve, Miami faces Ohio State. Then on New Year's Day, it's Oregon versus Texas Tech.
Touchdown, Oregon!
Followed by Alabama, Indiana.
Touchdown! The Hoosiers take the lead!
Then Ole Miss faces Georgia.
College football playoff quarterfinals start Wednesday at 6 with Miami versus Ohio State. Right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Transmitting from the CBC Construction Studio. Marquee matchups, huge rivalries, and fan favorites. The college football headquarters on the Gulf Coast is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. We will be having the Christmas prize pack giveaway at the top of the hour. Not yet. Not yet. Stay with us. Don't you go anywhere. We're going to have it for you. Jeffrey's already enjoying some Coach Saban oatmeal pies today just to give him some extra winning. But either way, we're going to go to the phone line right now, and we're going to talk to our friend from the rebelwalk.com, Steve Barnes. Steve, how you doing today? And did you have a Merry, Merry Christmas?
Of course. Come on, how can you not? I had my very first matching pajamas picture this year.
Oh, man. It's
I'm
nice.
51 years old. I've never had one before.
Ugh.
And it's gonna be brutally cold tonight. My favorite gift might be those flannel pajama bottoms tonight.
There you go.
But I've been working today on a story about basically, plucking the carcass of all these G5 teams coming to the portal.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, because it's going to happen.
I saw it today. Tulane is going to lose its entire starting offense, either to graduation or to the portal.
Oh, yeah.
Will Hall's going to have, that's going to be a job. Well, it's kind of like what Signetti did when he left James Madison. He went to Indiana. He took 13 transfers from James Madison, mixed in 7 more group of 5 guys from places like Austin P and Ohio and Kent, Old Dominion, Georgia Southern, Kennesaw. All they did after going 3-9 the year before was go 11-2, make the playoffs, and the 2 teams they lost to played for the national championship.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then this year he still got some of those teams, some of those players on that team, and all they did finish number 1.
Is Memphis going to get a lot from Southern Miss?
I think so.
Funny thing is, if they do, that'll be way of Southern Miss from Marshall, because he took half his team from Marshall to Southern Miss.
I've got a way. I think I think I can reduce this. Now, these kids that you're getting as transfers, you did not want them out of high school because you basically thought they weren't good enough.
Right.
And all of a sudden they are. How'd they get good? They went to these group of 5 schools and developed.
Yep.
So when you take these kids, I think the Power 4 owe the group of 5 a developmental fee.
There you go.
So if you take a kid after his freshman year, you owe him $100,000. After his sophomore year, $200,000. Junior year, $300,000. After his senior year, if he has eligibility left, $400,000. And if he had redshirted, that's a $50,000 bonus. Using that model, Signetti's first Indiana team would have had to pay James Madison University $5.8 million.
It has still been worth it.
Developmental fees.
It has still been worth it.
I'm not sure if you're Indiana's brass then. You sign off on that?
Oh, yeah, certainly not before you know what they've done. I'm saying looking back at it.
Looking back.
Well, right now, though, the most expensive player from JMU that would have gone would have cost $500,000. Mm-hmm. He had played a senior year, and he had 2 redshirt years, a redshirt, a medical redshirt, and somehow he had another year of eligibility. So that's $500,000. He was a long snapper.
Yeah.
Are you going to pay $500,000 for a long snapper?
No.
I think Indiana would have probably gone to Signetti and said, hey, look, you can spend $1 million. That's it. You got to pick the ones you want, but no, you can't touch the other ones. Now, that goes farther, a little bit closer to home for me. Does Ole Miss pay Ferris State $300,000 for a quarterback they don't think is quite going to play much?
Yeah, thought he was a backup.
Yeah.
That's true. Now, let me ask you this, though. When you think about it, we use the Signetti as the gold standard. How many others didn't pan out, though? That's where I think that's kind of the way it looks, because obviously there's other Division II quarterbacks now that is like, hey, I'm going to coattail off of Trinidad Chambliss for sure and say, hey, I led my team, in which they won it again. And so is that quarterback going to be the one that gets the nod to go to the SEC?
If you're looking for this year's Trinidad Chambliss, I know who it is. I saw him play live.
Yep, West Florida, over there in Pensacola.
Marcus Stokes at UW West.
Wow.
Yep.
And now, he had a different story than Champ. Chambliss just wasn't offered anything out of high school. Stokes was a 4-star out of Nice High School in the Jacksonville area, and it was no shock that he said, I'm going to Florida, because Nice is where Tebow went. Mm-hmm. But being a kid, he did something stupid. He put something on TikTok or one of those things where he sang along with a rap song that had several racial slurs to it. And Florida pulled the offer. Mm-hmm. No FBS team would offer him after that. No FCS would offer that. 2 Division II did. West Florida and Albany State. Ironically, I was the SID at Albany State, and I was an assistant at West Florida, so I know them both. Albany State's an HBCU. They said, we can't take a white kid doing this. We just can't do it. So he ends up in West Florida. So what's he do here? Takes the Argonauts to the playoffs twice. He's a finalist for Harlan Hill Award. like Chambliss was last year at Ferris, and he's a Gulf South Conference Player of the Year. And unlike these other guys, he's Division II. He didn't have to wait to jump in the portal. He could do it any time. He already did it. His first trip is Saturday to Syracuse.
So at the beginning of all of this, there was a story that was put out about him, and I don't even know what the name. It's an FCS Division I, UTRGV. I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, that's University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley.
Okay, all right. So they offered him $1 million, Marcus Stokes, to come there. They were going to be the first time that an FCS team was to offer someone $1 million. Now that was $1 million in the total package of that. So that's quite interesting. So it sounds like with him getting the Syracuse visit, then he's definitely shopping the money now, because obviously he's going to have opportunity.
Well, it's like that's why the developmental fee, because he got 2 years of experience playing at UWF, but he also got the experience of the coaching with practice. He got to work with the trainers. He got to work with a nutritionist. He got to work with the academic counselors. If UWF didn't develop him, places like Syracuse, and there's going to be a few others that are going to say, yeah, come visit before you sign anything. West Florida, they're responsible for this kid, basically. They deserve to be compensated.
Let me ask you this as far as that goes. Because of the coaching culture that we had, and this year being like no other that we've ever seen before in the history of college football, if this stops, we're in good shape. If it doesn't stop and this continues to be the model that we have, is that when you don't win, you get fired or you leave to go somewhere else. Do you think that possibly that's going to be the model too? Is that no more are you going to see the Alabamas, the Georgias, the big schools developing kids, that it's all going to be, we're going to pick and pull from all the smaller schools, or our rivals that say, like for Alabama, it'd be all the kids that we want from Auburn to come over? Is that how it's going to go?
Well, no, because they're developing the players too. And so you're looking at this kid at a smaller school. All right, he's developed into something we would like. Do we like him better than what we have now? And if not, you're not going to pay the money to do it. So it's just, that's why we have player personnel departments now in college football. I never thought we'd have one of those. But yeah. I think Ole Miss has got like 5 people in there now. Just all they do is evaluate transfers.
What is Ole Miss paying Trinidad Chambliss?
He's kept that close to the vest, but personally, I don't think he's going to get his waiver to get another year. I think he would have gotten it by now.
I agree.
And anyway, the problem's with Ferris State. Apparently, he had the red shirt, then he had the medical. He wants the medical red shirt because that one year he had chronic tonsillitis, breathing problems, and a rapid heartbeat. So he didn't play in games. But I talked to somebody at the Grand Rapids, in Grand Rapids that I know, said, yeah, but he practiced. Mm-hmm. Well, that sort of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? That's why the clearinghouse, where you call them up there, they want more information from Ferris State. Did he participate at all? And another thing is the Senior Bowl only takes 6 quarterbacks a year. They've got 5. I think they're holding the spot.
Yeah.
Wow.
They got Taylon Green from Arkansas. They got Sawyer Robertson from Baylor. Luke Altmaier, a Starkville native, an Ole Miss guy from Illinois. Cole Payton from North Dakota State, and Diego Pavia from Vanderbilt. Mm-hmm. They haven't named a 6th quarterback. I think they're waiting. And also, come on, the kid plays on Thursday. The portal opens on Friday. You got to tell him something.
Yeah, they need to let him know something. We're talking with Steve Barnes from the RebelWalk.com. Let's shift over to the game with Ole Miss and Georgia. Now, obviously, all of the coaches are still there except for Lane. Do you think that they are going to, you think there's going to be a lot of trickery? Do you think it's going to be what worked the last time? Do you think we're going to see a different style of play? Or kind of give us what you think that the team is going to be what they're going to try to do. Are they going to try to institute, make sure they're able to run the football? Is Lacey healthy enough? All of those things, Steve.
Well, Lacey's been at practice, but Charlie Weiss, he's not stupid. He's going to play to the strength that he has and try to, take care of any kind of weakness he might possibly see, and I don't really see a lot of it on the Georgia defense. But that's what he's going to do. I think the difference in this one, basically what Georgia's going to have to do is they cannot give up the chunk plays. And Ole Miss had 83 plays this year of over 20 yards. You can't give up 2 or 3 of those. But I think the difference in this game, which tight ends play better?
Really?
Because Ole Miss is going to spread out the field. They've got 5 different guys who've caught 30 passes. Another 2 caught at least 24. They're going to spread it out and run all over the place. And that's when DeJohn's going to be able to exploit things. But Delp and Lucky, they're going to do it for Georgia. And the one thing that Golding said and a bunch of the players said this week was, what do I remember most about that game? Georgia didn't punt.
Yeah.
You got to get the punter on the field a couple of times or you just hang it up.
Yeah, and that's the key. For me, watching both teams and watching the first game, if Ole Miss can establish somewhat of the run, because the thing is about Georgia, they are big up front. They do, stop the run really well, but they have had susceptible games where they did not give up. They did not stop the run as well, and they couldn't just tee off on the quarterback because you don't want him running for his life every play. You want to be able to do some actual play action where they feel like they're going to have to shoot the gaps.
Well, Lacey, his season low was against Georgia. He only had 88 yards. But I talked to these other 2 guys who are, quote, experts around the country who have told me, both of them said this actually in different ways, that Georgia's playing well enough right now they could score 100 on anybody in the nation. And Ole Miss doesn't have Kiffin anymore, so they might not cross the 50. So I told them both, okay, I'll make that my prediction. Georgia 100, Ole Miss nothing, but I want you to give me 99 points on the bet.
I'm sure they didn't take you up on that one.
No, they didn't for some reason. I couldn't figure that one out.
So let me ask you this, as far as what you've heard about, obviously we've talked about this, but Pete Golden obviously coming in with the change of the way that he runs the team. Does it feel like the players are looser? Does it seem like they are having more fun? Are you getting any kind of talk at practice where they're just, really feeling like they're going to win this football game and are not like everybody else in the country thinking that Georgia is a sure fit to play for the national title?
Well, listening to the 8 players that were available, they thought they should have won the first one. They had a 9-point lead in the fourth quarter, and they missed a couple of tackles on third down, kept them on the field, and basically Chambliss missed 2 just perfectly executed plays. He threw one in the dirt to a tight end, then overthrew a guy by about 10 yards. They think they should have had that one. So, they're confident. But the only changes, Golding's made 2 of them. One of them is Kiffin made them wear the same cleats. Everybody had to wear the same. Golding said, look, here's all the Nike stuff that we have in inventory. As long as it's school colors, you can wear anything you want to. And like Stribling last week wore red. A couple people wore white. A few people wore black. So that's a little different, and my big thing is, thank you for this, took the basketball goal off the sideline.
What?
I do not like them doing that because look at the Indiana defensive end after the Big Ten championship game. He's running around the stadium high-fiving people in the stands. He jumped up to high-five, comes down, blows his knee out. He's gone. I was just waiting for a kid to try to do a Michael Jordan dunk and land wrong and be like Martin Gramatica back in the day.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I've seen it. Even Kiffin was given the alley-oop, which is good. But so I know he's gone, and we can't use a lot of time to talk about him. We will because Jeffrey's here because he loves him now. But with Kiffin saying the things that he said, how did the faithful Ole Miss people take that? Were they happy? I didn't really get a chance to hear everything, but I did hear a little bit of chatter about what he said at the game when they interviewed him the other night.
From what I've heard, they're like tuning him out. Hey, he's not our coach anymore. Why listen to him? Which, makes sense. Even some of the players, I don't play for him anymore. Why do I care?
Yeah, it's going to be curious to see. Steve, we are up against a break, and we do appreciate your time. And, I know you don't give predictions, but,
I'll give you the 4 winners, my 4 winners. All right? I really, really, really want to say Miami, and I will because I think Bain's playing great football, and I think he's going to just put too much pressure. Oregon, I think they're going to kill Texas Tech. Yes, I'm going to say this. Give me Georgia over Ole Miss. The one I'm not sure about, Indiana, Alabama, for one reason only. Wednesday night in Pasadena, 80% chance of rain. Game day, 100% chance of rain. And it's not like it's going to rain and move out. Next day, 50% chance of rain. They're going to be playing a monsoon, possibly. And if that happens, how's Alabama going to run the ball?
Yeah. Either way, we're going to find out. Steve Barnes with the RebelWalk.com. Thank you so much, Steve. We
Happy New
appreciate
Year, guys.
You too, my friend. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about this college football playoff. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Alabama Crimson Tide and the Indiana Hoosiers will meet for the first time this Thursday in the Rose Bowl.
56, rolling.
It's a college football playoff quarterfinal.
Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins!
We'll have live play-by-play from Pasadena starting at 3 right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
When it comes to backyard dreams, trust the name that's been making waves for over 65 years. Cox Pools. Serving the entire Florida Panhandle, Cox Pools brings experience, innovation, and quality to every custom pool design. From luxurious spas to resort-style pools, no vision is too big. Make your backyard the place to be with Cox Pools. Cox Pools, 65 years strong and still making a splash. Visit coxpools.com or call 850-235-7957.
Our country is held together by small businesses. That's a fact. It's also a fact that 9 out of 10 of those small businesses will fail. Why? Because it's hard. Really, really hard to build a profitable business from the ground up today. Pure Talk knows that. They started as a small American wireless company determined to keep their customer service in this country. It worked. And today, Pure Talk is determined to help other small businesses prosper by offering them the same white glove service the big guys get. Same service, same 5G network at a truly affordable price. Pure Talk is focused on businesses that employ welders and roofers, electricians, plumbers, HVAC techs, the people who keep the lights on. If that sounds like your business, give Pure Talk Business a try and see just how much you could save. Dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who understands the power of small business. Pure Talk.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. Eat, sleep, game. This is your sports obsession. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
We are back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you want to be a part of the show? You can be. 850-215-6290, the Red 70s phone line. Don't forget, top of the hour, we're going to be giving away Christmas prize pack the days after Christmas. So it's going to be the New Year's prize pack is what we're going to call this baby today. So either way, killing it in the studio. We've got Randy here running the ones and the twos. Jeffrey's here. and Brian's here. Let's talk about this real quick before we go to the top of the hour. Marcus Freeman has decided that he is going to stay at Notre Dame and be their head football coach. Now, let me ask you guys this. It was placed on Twitter. He said 2026, let's run it back. So to me, that only guarantees 1 year. So I'm just going to say that. I just want everybody to be aware. Was it a surprise, Brian, that you would think that Marcus Freeman's going to stay at Notre Dame?
First of all, are you the guy who sees who's following who? By the way, Twitter is the world's largest high school.
I understand.
Okay, that's what it is, just like high school.
So they got out of junior high?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Facebook is in junior high.
Absolutely ridiculous. I surprised, no, but I thought there was an equal chance he could go because I've got a feeling there's going to be a lot of NFL jobs open. I could be wrong. But we're going to find out about a week from today because that's usually the day they just, what is it called, Black Monday?
Black Monday. Yes,
we'll see. But shocked, no. Not even really mildly surprised. I thought it was at best a 50-50 proposition. He's got a good thing going at Notre Dame. He really does. I mean, they played for the national championship last year. Whether or not they should have been in the playoffs, and I don't think they should have been. They are definitely a team nobody wanted to play at the end of the year. I think they were playing as good as any of the top 4 or 5 in the country at the end of the year. But they had knocked themselves out with what they did earlier, their scheduling and not being in a conference. So that's fair. So he's got a good thing going there. So, good for him, good for Notre Dame, and we'll have to see who gets these NFL jobs.
I know you love Notre Dame, so you got to talk about it. Marcus Freeman, did you think he was going to stay or did you think he was going to go? Because you said earlier that there was a chance.
How much wine do you think I drank at church?
I don't know. I was thinking you got converted, so I didn't know. I just figured.
Might have got baptized
I'd
with
say
that wine.
They held you down a little bit longer just to make sure.
I thought we opted out by talking about Notre Dame. No, I mean, the guy opted out of NFL job. What else is going to opt out of?
Yeah, he's opting out of
Get this guy out of here, man. I don't even talk about him. Do you know what they're doing next year? They're not playing USC.
No, they're not, because USC said, I don't want to play you anymore.
Yeah.
That's good for them.
Good for Notre Dame. Everybody will look past them, and maybe they won't go 11-1 and lose to Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
Because their schedule's weak. And you know who they replaced USC with? BYU.
So the Catholics versus the Mormons.
And I enjoyed watching the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah. Only because of the end where they eat the Pop-Tart, right?
Yeah.
One looked like half committed suicide there falling off the thing.
Yikes.
That was weird.
It's pretty strange.
No, but I did enjoy the Pop-Tart Bowl, and I still hear Notre Dame people still whining and complaining, and, I don't even want to hear it. You opted out. I'm not even going to talk about you anymore. I mean, come on.
Did you think that they were a top 12 team? Do you think they had anything that they could
They're number
say?
12. There he had me said it.
Yeah.
I said it.
So they should have made the playoffs in the real world.
Yeah, in a real world, if you're just doing it just on merits and everything, they're number 12. Does that put Vandy number 13?
Probably.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean,
But that would have put BYU at 11.
Yeah, they would have put BYU at 11, who had to slip past Georgia Tech. Because they're down by 11 in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, struggle. Yeah.
Struggle win.
It was weird. They did to Georgia Tech what Georgia Tech had done to so many teams this year.
Yeah. We're up. And they come back and won it, which I thought they were going to do the same thing because that was 7 games Georgia Tech had this year that they come from behind to win like that, and I thought for sure they were going to do that.
So this Big 12, they're going to be hurting because they lost coaches at Utah, Iowa State, So Texas Tech could almost take over. Who knows?
Yeah. Well,
with the money infusion they've got and the coaching staff that they've got, they very well may. You have a new coach at Kansas State. Mm-hmm. You have a new coach at Oklahoma State. I mean, you have a lot of turnover in that conference. So although I think that conference played better this year than I thought they would.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the weakest. It's going to be the weakest that they've ever been starting next year.
Yeah.
Well, it's the most unsure, I think.
I think it'll be weak because of that.
I think ACC has. I'm not happy about it.
Got closer.
They definitely fell. They fell for sure, and that makes me think that Miami's not going to beat Ohio State on Wednesday night.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah, I'll pick it right now. Ohio State's going to beat Miami.
I don't think I'm kind of with you. I don't think the ACC just had a weird year. I think they really have dropped off. Mm-hmm. I think what's happened is for the last 2 years, we have kind of masked ourselves to the slow decline. And I think this has been coming now. Looking back at it, all the signs were there. Mm-hmm. And now it's like evident. And so it's not just kind of an anomaly. Oh, well, they'll be back next year. I'm not so sure. I think this conference is really struggling.
We're talking about Virginia and Duke in a conference championship. Really? But basketball schools.
Major structural issues at Florida State. Major issues with a team at Clemson this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a steady pullback for Clemson. We just thought they were back.
I watched that Clemson game. Well, I was not impressed with Clemson's offense.
Let me tell you this about Clemson. This is what I gathered from watching them the whole year.
Virginia Tech should be better.
I think he is too loyal to his players when they're not as good as what they should be at a point. Because you got to think, Klubnik was the guy for 4 full years, and he looked as bad and as lost as he's looked at the end of this season than he did his freshman year when he came in and took over for DJ Ungalale. So realistically, when you look at it, I think the rise and the fall part, I'm going to push back just a little bit with James Franklin coming into it. You've got a Virginia team that's won 12 games. That's the first time that's ever happened.
I love their coach,
Tony Elliott. Mm-hmm. And then you've got Miami making the playoff, which I know you had 2 teams last year, SMU and Clemson making it. But I just think that the ACC is going to be able to garner players because I think they're going to throw more money into it than I think the Pac-12 will, and that's why I think they will still be there. I do not think the Pac-12 will be equal to them, or will they overtake them, because I think the ACC will stay afloat due to its money and revenue.
I think the ACC has a lot of South Carolinas. That's what I think they have.
That's fair. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with the fact of the product
South
they're
Carolina is mid-tier SEC. To last year, you could say they were upper third, but at the bottom of the upper third.
Right. Yes.
Okay. That's where the 2, 3, and 4s are in the ACC, not the 6, 7, and 8s.
Right. Understood. And I think too, though, if we base it off the SEC, because I think with the Missouris and the Vanderbilts of this world has thrown a wrench into the SEC. Now that we used to only have about 5 strong teams that could possibly win the national championship from top to bottom. Now we're looking at 1 through 8 that they could beat anybody on any given night if you look at it. I mean, you still got to think, as bad as Texas looked in the beginning of the year, they still only lost by 7 points to who everybody was saying was possibly an unbeatable team. Now, I know they lost eventually, but still. So I think realistically, I think that the ACC is going to get better. I think they've got more of the money. I think they're starting to see that, hey, we've got to just put money into it, even though the old school basketball schools aren't what they should be. But I really think we could get to that place where the ACC will be somewhat, not all the way, but somewhat like the Big Ten, where you're going to be top heavy and a big fall off at the bottom.
Well, they have recruiting rich areas, and they're just not holding on to their kids.
Right.
They're just
I
not.
agree.
And the thing is, they're not even getting them the first couple of years, and then they're transferring out. They're just not getting them at all.
Yeah, they're missing
It's like
all
they're
the way.
going to the SEC or Big Ten, or they're going to a group of 5 or something. It's weird the way it's happening. And the way that they've done it, I think you're right. Dabo is loyal, but I think Dabo's bigger issue was he has struggled to adapt.
He has.
He was very, very good at the high school recruiting game, and he was able to go out and get big-time players from across the country to augment what he was getting out of Northern Georgia and out of South Carolina, which is very talent-rich. He did a great job with that. He has not embraced, nor has he pivoted to the transfer era.
Yeah.
And what you do, everybody thinks you go out and you get 20 a year. No, you don't. If you do it right, you get 3 or 4 that perfectly fit into what you need. Mm-hmm. And that's how you build a championship team. And Dabo's really struggled with that since the transfer era has really come alive.
We're going to go to the Red 70s phone line. We've got Mike on the line. Mike, are you there with me?
Yes, this is Mike Cube, and I want to talk to Hey Dad.
Hey, Mike, what's up, buddy?
How you doing? What do you like? How you like Mississippi State? They're on the third on the Forgotten Bowl game.
It just seems wrong. I love my Bulldogs, but 5-7 in a bowl game just isn't right.
Are they favored over the ACC champions?
Could be. They probably should be. You know, interestingly enough, what was it? Manny Diaz was the defensive coordinator at State under Mullen. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's all the whole thing's incestuous, man. College football is. To use a bad word, maybe, but I do have a question for you. Now, let's see. Bo Nix was at Auburn, and so was Robbie Ashford.
Correct.
And Robbie Ashford's picking up a paycheck at Wake Forest right now, and he must be like 31. I don't know.
It's his fourth school.
Close.
It's his fourth school.
Yeah, it is. I got to be close on that. And I'm going to tell you something. John Curry was the worst athletic director a certain school in East Tennessee had in history. He got played by Mike Leach. He spent a whole boatload of jet fuel to fly out to eastern Washington and have Leach just mess with him. The dear departed Mike Leach. You know, speak respectfully of him. But anyway, it's good to hear y'all's voices on the air. And it's up here where I am in the Murray State, Austin P, UT Martin Triangle.
Yep.
It feels like it's 15.
Oh, yeah.
Fahrenheit. So y'all get ready for that. And tomorrow night at the Music City Bowl, in a paraphrase Spurrier, you can't say Music City without having a U and a T in it. It's going to be about 27. And anybody that's there is going to be pickled in the devil's sauce there, that fireball. And
good place for it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I got a friend. I'll tell you one last story because you got Vandy connections, and I do too, sort of. But I got a friend who he's a big Vandy guy now, and he went to Tennessee, and he said, well, man, you know, that's our hometown. We got to support it. And my reply to him was, do you have Trevecca season tickets? And he said nothing. Anyway, I'm cruel like that, but Vandy is ahead of Tennessee in all four major college sports. Men's basketball, women's basketball, baseball preseason rankings, and football.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
I got this real quick, Mike. I had said Duke. I don't know why I just transposed that. Wake Forest 8-4, Mississippi State 5-7. Mississippi State is a 3-point favorite.
There we go.
I said Duke too because you know it is the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
That's correct.
But Wake Forest is in it. I mean that's why it's. I mean y'all quit paying attention to the ACC. You know, try to rescue Florida State from that conference, please. They still got great women's soccer, and I love y'all. Have a happy New Year. Prospero Año.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much, Mike. We appreciate it. He's got a good point, though. When you look at it, Florida State was trying to get out, but now, really, do you think Florida State has a foot to stand on? Because realistically, they're right there with everybody else. Where are they going to bring? What are they bringing to the table if they move? That's it.
But here, it was never about your wins and losses in a way. Honest to God, it was about revenue drawn in, was what they claimed. I've never liked that. It's the only socialist bone in my body probably applies to when it comes to the conferences. I don't think that they should be doing that because you never know what it's going to be like in 10 years anyway. I mean,
that's true.
So I don't like that. But their claim, as bad as they were last year, I guarantee you them, Miami, and Clemson probably still outdrew everybody else in terms of viewership and ratings.
Yeah, they probably did. And that's the thing. Even though they had
because
the $6
there's a traditional background.
Even though they had the $6 ticket that Jeff turned down to go to, and instead he went to the library.
Yeah, that's going out there.
No, go to the library.
That's going out there and spending $100 to park and $25 a beer. And I mean, hell, I may be low on that. But it's a different experience. But there are still people who will watch them on television. There's no doubt of that.
And that's the thing. And do you think the ACC is going to fall off, or do you think that they are going to keep afloat?
I mean, fall off is a very tricky word. I mean, how far falling off are you considering? I mean, are we talking about 2 ranked teams at the end of the year? Yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they'll always have 2 teams at least, ranked. Yeah.
I think they're pretty.
And by the way, Virginia did not win 12 games this year, by the way. Yeah. 11.
No.
They didn't get they got
10-2
in the champ game.
10-2 beat Missouri.
That's right.
11.
That's why.
So,
they lost some champs.
I think they're pretty close to the bottom of where their conference can be, honestly, right now.
Yeah.
So I do think they have room to go up.
Yeah.
Had they not gotten a team in the playoff, I'm convinced of this, would have been the death knell for that conference, and in the next 3 years, it would have gone away.
Oh, wow.
I am 100% convinced of that.
It shows you how much 1 year can make a difference. Because Clemson got the automatic bid last year. SMU was in.
That's right.
They could have zero, because Miami could have got knocked out. I mean, left out because of Notre Dame.
Well, everybody thought Notre Dame was going to get in. Everybody did. They had to make it work.
And here's another thing, year to year. Okay, last year, SEC had 3 teams in. Mm-hmm. The first 3 teams out were Bama, Ole Miss, then South Carolina. So we really had 6 teams last year. This year, you said the number 8. The guy who just called, Mike, guess who was number 8? It was Tennessee, because we put 5 teams in. Vanderbilt and Texas were the next 2, then Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And you're right, we did have really 8 good teams. Did we have 6 good ones last year? Not really, because I don't think South Carolina was all that. I think it really kind of had 5 last year.
They were better last year.
They were better
and
than
they were
they
hot
were
at the end of the year.
They got hot right there at the end. They were 2 passes away from beating Alabama, which would have probably catapulted them into that top group.
Yeah.
That's really what happened.
But I'm just a couple of numbers away from winning $1.7 billion the other night, too.
That is true. A little different, though. But either way, we are going to next break. And
when I say a couple, I mean 6 numbers.
When we come back, don't forget, New Year's prize pack on the line. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
How about that getting hit in Arkansas, man?
Call or text him now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
We smell an upset alert. The Los Angeles Rams come in 11-4 to play Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons in the ATL for Monday Night Football.
Touchdown Atlanta!
Playoff implications for the Rams and something to prove for the Falcons. Coverage starts at 6, kickoff at 7:15 right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is not financial advice.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Mostly clear tonight with a low near 37 and a wind 15 to 20 miles per hour. Sunshine tomorrow morning, a blustery wind out of the north and a temperature of 46. A little warmer in the afternoon and evening around 52 with clear skies and a wind out of the north around 14 miles per hour. Sunny Wednesday, a gentle breeze and warm around 55. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Keep the adventure going this holiday season in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia during the Season of New Tradition sales event. Bill Bird Kia is now offering 0.9% APR for up to 60 months, plus $1,000 bonus cash on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento or a new 25 Kia Telluride. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Countdown to savings is going on now. Celebrate the season in style and drive away in a new Kia today. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento or VIN-specific new 2025 Telluride with $1,705 per month per $1,000 financed at 60 months. Quantities limited. $1,000 APR bonus is applied as down payment and no cash value cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 1/2/26.
WVLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The college football playoff quarterfinals. First on New Year's Eve, Miami faces Ohio State. Then on New Year's Day, it's Oregon versus Texas Tech.
No touchdown, Oregon!
Followed by Alabama, Indiana.
Touchdown! The Hoosiers take the lead!
Then Ole Miss faces Georgia.
College football playoff quarterfinals start Wednesday at 6 with Miami versus Ohio State. Right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
If you build it, they will come. We're live from the CBC Construction Studios. The sports world is a battlefield of opinions. And every day, Paul Wilson brings the heat, the fire, and the definitive take. Don't just follow the headlines. Be a part of the story on the Sports Blitz. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And you know what that means. We made it. It's 5 o'clock right here on this Monday. And we're so glad that you joined us at the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. Don't forget tonight, the Rams and the Falcons. I don't know who's going to win that game, but I don't think the Falcons are. How about that? Either way, you are so excited as well as we are because we're going to be giving away that prize pack here in just a moment. Not yet, though, because we want to talk about a little bit more about this college football playoff. And when you look at it, Jeffrey, I'm going to start with you. I know you've already made your pick. You've already said that Ohio State was going to beat Miami. And the reasoning behind it is because of the ACC not being very strong.
Yeah.
So is that the case to you that makes the biggest thing about conference? Because realistically, if you look at Ohio State's schedule, they haven't played anybody this year. I mean, if you would look at all of the teams that they played, realistically, they didn't really play anybody up until Indiana. I mean, can we agree on that? Is that what you think? Or, I mean, obviously Texas at the beginning of the year, those games to me, they can just be a coin flip because you don't really know what you got. You haven't really, both teams had their new starting quarterbacks. You kind of getting a feel for everything. The people that you have at the beginning of the season is not going to be who you got at the end of the season. They're better now, I think, than they were at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
But the reasoning behind it for you, Ohio State wins because
I want to say they're more tested. That sounds crazy. I know. Because Ohio State really hadn't played the schedule. And Miami, I mean, if you look at the way they beat teams in their schedule, 14, 17, 20, 14, 20. You know, they're right up in that where the game is not close. Nobody's going to steal it in the last 5 minutes because they're already more than 2 scores up.
Yeah.
So that's the convincing part about Miami. But they did drop 2 games. But they did beat Notre Dame, you know? So there's argument here, but I still don't think that – I don't think Miami's going to win a second upset.
Is it a blowout or is it close? Because realistically, Ohio State only had the one close game and they lost.
Yeah.
So every other game they were up for the most part.
Oh, yeah.
Even the Texas game they were up. Texas had to come back from behind.
They were up 14-0.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you look at if a game stays close that Miami possibly could pull off the upset?
Okay, is close 27-14?
No.
13?
13's not close, not to me.
I think Ohio State will win 27-14.
And that's going to be in the fourth quarter, or do you believe they'll just go back and forth?
It'll be a little go back and forth where, 7 or 10 point lead, So
you don't think it's going to be like 27-7 going into the fourth quarter?
No. And they get a last second touchdown? No.
You smell that?
I don't smell it.
That's an upset.
Oh, all right.
There will be people who pick Miami. Will you be one of them?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I don't know. So, Brian, when you look at it, all of these questions, I don't know who you're picking yet, but who are you picking and why?
Well, if I were picking a winner, it'd be Ohio State because I think they have obviously more mulligans, if you will. The thing about the matchup here is it's strength on strength and week on week, generally speaking, in most football games. The thing is, Ohio State's got strength on both sides. I think Miami has strength on defense, clearly. It's probably the best defense, one of, if not the best in the country. Offensively, they've really struggled, and that wasn't just A&M hitting them in the mouth. They kind of fell on it a little bit themselves, too. That's my worry in this game is I'm not sure Miami can put up enough points. They're going to have to get some pick sixes, some scooping scores, maybe a special team score. The thing that does worry me a little bit, and I know it's not the first time he's done it, but it's the first time he's done it in a while. Ryan Day is going to be calling the plays.
That's huge.
And I do think that's different. Now, the fact that he has a long gap of time to prepare helps. But it just, I don't like change like that before you're about to play a really good defense. The thing about it is, I think Ohio State's going to struggle offensively, but they're still going to find a way to get 23 points. And Miami, I just don't see putting that up because Ohio State's got a really good defensive well. So barring some turnovers, some turning into points, I think Ohio State wins this game by 7 to 10 points.
See, and that was what was weighing on me about picking this game because don't forget, 2 years ago, whenever Ryan Day was calling the plays, they had his head almost over there because they had already he was losing to Michigan. Think about the context. Losing to Michigan, it almost was Billy Napier all over again, but he was calling the plays.
To be fair,
that's what he was doing, and they didn't want it. I'm scared about that.
He was in the championship game against Alabama calling plays. He probably should have beaten Georgia in the semifinal game. Marvin Harrison getting targeted. Yes, I'll bring that up again.
Wow.
My Georgia fans are going to get, upset about that, and I don't care. But they were almost right there again in the semifinal game, him calling plays. Now, they couldn't beat Michigan with it, and it was starting to slip. Then they bring in Chip Kelly, and then they've done what they've done this year with Hartline.
Mm-hmm.
It's just interesting. I don't like change like that before a big game like this, but you never know. I'll put it this way. The likelihood of Ohio State blowing out Miami is significantly higher than Miami blowing out Ohio State. If Miami wins, it's a squeaker.
And that is because of Ohio State's defense or because of Miami's offense?
I think it's both.
So you don't trust Carson Beck in these big moments against Ohio State?
I just don't trust the entirety of their offense. It's not a well-oiled machine. It really hasn't been since week 2.
Well, what about Bain, though? Where does Bain come in? Where does Mesidor come in? Because that's what their strength has been. Like you talked about strength on strength. Now, Ohio State has 2 offensive linemen they're not going to play.
Yeah.
They haven't played it. They didn't play against Indiana, so it's not the first game that they're going to be out.
They're going to cause havoc, and Sayan's a young, short quarterback who, not Pavia short, but, he's a short quarterback. The thing about it is, Miami, as good as they are defensively, if there's one place to get them, it's on the edges. Ohio State has the best wide receivers in the country. They do. Carnell Tate has incredible stats, a lot of it because they're doubling Jeremiah Smith. They're going to have to figure out one of them because even if you're coming and even if he only has a few seconds, they can get one of those guys open, they're going to cause damage. That's why I think they're going to get 23 points even if Miami plays a great game. Those wide receivers are that good.
And that's why you have to have 2 wide receivers that are going to be NFL caliber wide receivers to win in college football now. I'm going to go ahead and say it. That's just what it is. We're going to go to the Red 17s phone line. We got Bobby on the line. Bobby, are you there with me, my friend?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, my man?
Man, I want to hear, why is Brian always hating on Miami so bad?
I'm not hating on I picked Miami last game.
Man, I've been listening to this radio station. Miami don't have the facility. Miami's had the biggest practice facility, for years.
Yeah.
Before Auburn got there, before Alabama got there.
I agree with that.
Miami has the facilities. They have the money.
Yeah.
Why are you hating on somebody that's good?
I told you I picked on them. I picked them a week ago.
Brian,
now, here's what I do. I've never said anything about their practice facility. They are good. I do make fun of them for having 22 people in the stands. I do. It's a joke. We have fun.
That's fine, but damn, they play 65 freaking miles from
I get it. I get it.
True.
Yeah, and they don't have no room to build a stadium.
That's true.
Damn, quit hating on them, man.
I'm just telling you, the attendance is poor. I got to find something.
Yeah, well, quit digging.
Find something else to do. That's awesome.
I'm telling you, you think Ohio State's defense is better than Miami's? You're crazy.
No, they're not. But I do think.
Yeah, they're not even close.
But I do think Ohio State's offense is better than Miami's offense.
Come on now.
I really do.
It doesn't matter. How many points Ohio State going to score?
I told you, 20 to 23. I don't think they're going to get any more than that.
They'll score 20.
Look,
hey, Bobby,
you may be right.
Bobby, don't get mad just at Brian.
Hey,
Bring it to Jeff.
I'm not mad.
Give it to Jeffrey, too.
This far, I'm happy.
Yeah, but give it to Jeffrey, too. Don't let Jeffrey off the hook. Jeffrey sat over here and basically said that Ohio State was going to win, too.
Hey, Fletcher And then running backs, man, I'm telling you, the Hawk can't stop them with that big offensive line.
I'm telling you, I think Ohio State's defense a lot better than people realize. They haven't had to show it. Hey,
who they play?
I could be dead wrong.
Purdue?
Indiana.
What? Then they lost.
Yeah. How many did Indiana score?
Texas.
What, 10?
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. What I'm saying is their defense is good.
So how do you think Ohio State's defense is so good? Who'd they play?
I think they're really good because I know the players they got out there.
Who'd they play? How do you know?
Caleb Downs isn't any good? I think the NFL would disagree with you.
Okay. A quarterback. He's still got to have offensive line, a running game, a wide receiver.
Ohio State's got the best wide receivers in the country, period. Now, running back, they're not as good as last year. Their line, they've got some guys hurt. So that's what I said earlier. Sayan's going to have Miami guys in his face in 3 seconds.
So I not go down the list?
You can go down the list.
Look,
I think Miami's defense is as good as anybody's in the country. I said that earlier.
And Miami's receivers are as good as any in the country.
But I think...
Can Beck get in the ball? We'll see.
Yeah, that's what I'm not sure about.
So Ohio State...
but he's got time. If he gets the time, he can get him the ball.
Yeah.
Ohio State played at Michigan, at Illinois, at Wisconsin.
Yeah, and they'll suck.
And then they played at home against Washington.
And they'll suck.
Yeah. Who's Miami playing over Notre Dame?
About their defense is good. Who did they play?
Miami hadn't played anybody but Notre Dame.
They certainly didn't play the gauntlet of the ACC schedule.
It doesn't matter. But if you seen them play the other day, and they just freaking made Texas Tech look like fucking Rutherford.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Bobby, though. When you look at the way Ohio State played against Indiana, do you think that they dumbed it down a little bit, vanilla style, so that they could get prepared, so nobody could get so much film on them?
Why would they have done that?
Because, let me tell you why. Because it seemed like when you watched the playoffs last year compared to this year, Jeremiah Smith, regardless if they had 2 people, 3 people, 4 people on him, he was getting open. In that game, he was not getting open against Indiana.
I tackle over the line of scrimmage. It's legal.
That's a big boy you're going to be taking down every time. Look, all I'm saying, yeah, he's a big boy.
Hey, them boys in Miami can hit you, dude.
That's true. I love Miami's defense. I really like Ohio State's defense, too. I don't love either offense. But if you're asking me, I think Ohio State's offense is a little bit better than Miami's right now. I could be dead wrong come the first.
Well, we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Our running game is awesome. We have great wide receivers. If Beck has time, which he will, because that offensive line is huge. They're like average like 6'7", like 360.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Give us your score. We're going to have to go here in just a second, but I want to know what you think the score is going to be.
27-21 Miami.
Could be.
That's good. I like that. Well, Bobby, we appreciate it, man. Thank you for the call. And you know what? Always keep these guys in check when they talk about them Hurricanes.
Hey, yeah, well, we'll. Go Canes, and we hunt Cincinnati.
That's right.
Number 6.
All right. Sounds good, brother. Thank you so much. You know, he's got a point. Like
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. There's the defense, if they're Miami. This is the one thing I want to say about Miami. When they played against, we can all agree, a more elusive quarterback in Marcel Reed, you're not going to see Julian Sayin be able to get out of the pocket.
No, but it's different. Now, they did a great job. Reed got moving, and he ran, but he was contained. He would get 6 yards, 8 yards. I mean, he still ended up with hardly any yards because they got to him a few times in the backfield, too. So while it looked like he was springing things, they would do a good job of closing him down, and Miami tackles very well in the open field. Like I said, if they have any weakness, and I'm talking about a weakness of going from a 10 to an 8.5, it could be on the edges. If they decide to man up on these big receivers, that's the only thing. Now, what they're going to be counting on is they can get to Sayin too quickly for him to get these routes run and get the ball to him. But if they're able to pick it, if that running back picks up the backer coming off the edge or whatever, and he has enough time, I do think these receivers are good for 2 or 3 big plays, and that may be all it takes.
And you got to think, too, like when you look at how Miami can pin their ears back and get you behind the sticks. That's the biggest part that they want to do, which means what? They've got to shut down the run. They can't allow Ohio State to be at 2nd and 5, 3rd and 1, all of those things. So that's going to be huge in the way that Miami goes after them, because they want 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. They want Smith to have to go further than just a regular slant, because last year he killed teams by himself single-handedly on slants across the middle. So really that's what they've got to do.
How can Miami score 5 times and get 27 points on Ohio State? They can't. You know why? Because nobody has scored more than 4 times in one game on Ohio State. The 2 biggest gives that they've had all year is 16 points to Illinois and 14 points to Penn State. The next highest was a 13-point score by Mendoza in Indiana. So you're telling me 16, which is what, 3 field goals and a touchdown, is the most they've given up all year?
Yeah, they're going to definitely have to have some kind of turnover. So, but either way, we're going to go ahead and take our next break. And when we come back, PCB Hobby Takeover, the captain's in the building. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call in now.
This is Touchstone Service.
The Red 70 studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290. It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Mostly clear tonight with a low near 37 and a wind 15 to 20 miles per hour. Sunshine tomorrow morning, a blustery wind out of the north and a temperature of 46. A little warmer in the afternoon and evening around 52 with clear skies and a wind out of the north around 14 miles per hour. Sunny Wednesday, a gentle breeze and warm around 55. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Keep the adventure going this holiday season in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia during the Season of New Tradition sales event. Bill Bird Kia is now offering 0.9% APR for up to 60 months, plus $1,000 bonus cash on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento or a new 25 Kia Telluride. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Countdown to savings is going on now. Celebrate the season in style and drive away in a new Kia today. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento or event-specific new 2025 Telluride with $1,705 per month per $1,000 financed at 60 months. Quantities limited. $1,000 APR bonus is applied as down payment and no cash value cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty.
Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 1/2/26.
The Sports Blitz. 100% live and local from the CBC Construction Studios. This is the Sports Blitz. We don't just talk sports. We start fires. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The place where we do start fights with Miami fans, especially when Brian's in the building. Thanks so much for listening. We appreciate it. If you got any calls, you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290. We're pumped up and ready to go. We've got the captain in the building from PCB Hobby. Todd is here. Todd, how are you doing today, my friend?
Doing great. Happy Monday, everybody.
What is on the docket for the week for you? One week you're going to Orlando, the next week Japan.
The funniest thing is that tomorrow I leave for Orlando.
I figured.
I'm not kidding you. That's so funny. So everything's going good. We've been busy. We did a stream on Christmas. That was a lot of fun. It was. We crushed it.
Yeah.
We had so many people on there. We had, I kid you not, 88 people at one point on the comic stream. We had 350 people on the coin stream.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing how many people tuned in. And the funniest thing was we were the only ones streaming on eBay Live.
Yep.
That was it. All 4 of our feeds were running, and we were the only ones running. So we just don't take any time off. But it was fun. I had a good time. I was the one streaming comics with Bill, and we had several people, running coins and different things and stuff like that. So holidays have been great. We've had a good time. Shop's been busy. I had a lot of people in the shop. Brian's been there, so he knows. I did stop by a couple times. Had some good people come in. Ryan Kincaid came in and did a stream, so that was good. And so we just got a lot going on. Of course, New Year's is coming up, the brand new year. We're super excited for 2026. We got a lot of stuff planned for shop, some expansions, some just all kinds of stuff. So we're really, really excited, and everything's going really well in that fashion. As far as new inventory, the Fun Show, which a lot of people don't know what that is. It's the Florida United Numismatist Association, the Fun Show. It's the largest coin show in America is this next weekend.
How do you say that?
Numismatist.
I bet you can't spell that.
I bet he can.
No,
I bet he can. I have faith in you.
No.
He can spell it. Anyways, so at the largest coin show in America, and that is next week. So we're super excited. We're going to be down there, and that's one of the reasons I'm going to Orlando. So we're going to be down there for that. We're not setting up. We just, getting with all of our wholesalers and buying and walking the floor and doing all the stuff that we do to get inventory for the streams.
Gold and silver.
So that's actually the news. Silver last night hit $84 an ounce.
Wow.
You guys, when I started in this business, I started in 2008, but I actually started in 2006. I was buying jewelry, gold, silver, and stuff, and flipping it, and and stuff like that before I actually moved to Spanish Fort, and it was literally $8 an ounce. $8 an ounce. Wow. So I have seen it go from 8 to 84.
Yeah.
In my lifetime, and that was 16 years ago. So 17 years ago.
That's what we said was a year and a week ago. It was 28.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So a lot of people got really scared though this morning because it dropped about $8-9. That's normal. You got to understand all the markets were closed for over the holidays, all the stuff. It was the foreign markets that were driving it up, and they are, and it's right. But they opened, Monday morning, and COMEX, who's the one that does all the paper contracts for silver and gold, said, "Oh, there's all of a sudden millions more ounces to buy on paper." Yep. And so that tanked the price a little bit, but it's not. You watch; it's still slowly creeping right back. So, and it will. I would not be shocked if within the next 2 to 4 months we see $100.
It's got to be.
Now, I think $100 an ounce is where the smart guys get real smart and they dump, and then crash the market again. I think that's what's going to actually happen.
Short term,
in my opinion, a short term thing. So. The good thing about our business, which people don't understand, I'll give everybody just a little business tidbit today. We work off the turn. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. So it doesn't matter. I don't care if it's going up or down. Just go up or down. Do something. Yep. The more stagnant it is, the slower the business is. Either go up or go down. We bought 500, 600, 700 ounces today from people walking in the door. I mean, that's massive amounts of silver. And it dropped $8. But we still bought it.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter. Because tomorrow we'll sell it. We'll just make our little profit, and that's it. So it's about the turn when you're a dealer.
Yep.
As far as people investing in it, you got to understand, there's a lot of people that are in their silver for $15, $20, $25 right now. And they're looking pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Real pretty. Even selling at $70 or $68 an ounce.
Yep.
So it is quite interesting. Now gold, I don't know. For some reason, gold doesn't excite me as much. I mean, the spread between gold and silver, if you did the math back when it was $8, let's say gold was 250, you times that out, you're at 40 times multiplier, so you're at 4,300 now. Silver should be at 200. And it's not. Where's the disconnect? Why is there a disconnect? There shouldn't be a disconnect.
Right.
They rode together forever.
That's what, if people listen, that's what you were saying a few months ago when it was lagging so hard.
So hard compared to gold. And I don't understand why. Silver's more usable in the market as an actual commodity. And people could sit there and say it's more plentiful. I mean, I don't actually know the answer to that. I couldn't tell you if it's more plentiful or not. I mean, who really knows? I can't tell you how much is still in our earth, right? So we may wake up one day and say, there's not much silver left. It's being used up. And silver is usable. What you guys don't understand and know is that silver, you can turn it into colloidal silver. Yep. It's actually an antiseptic. It was used way back when for that type of thing. It's used in parts, pieces, electronics, things like that. Yep. So still, because it was cheap enough. Well, now that it's up to 80, I mean, they may figure out other ways to do things. But my point is actually a usable commodity. And so since it's a usable commodity versus gold doesn't go away. You don't make... There's no goldoid.
Right. Well, that's like, Jeffrey, if it does hit 100, he's going to pull his back tooth as full silver. So
I would too. That's good money right there. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so it's very interesting. But gold is not surprising me that much. Yeah. I've always thought it should be around $4,000 or $5,000. I mean, that just seems typical to me. What's interesting is the government still values it at a certain thing. Yeah. So when you get a gold piece from the U.S. government, a 1 ounce gold piece, it's a $50 gold piece. They value that as a real $50 of currency. You'd be an idiot to use it as $50, but you could. Yeah. Because they have to put it. But why? I don't understand that. Why does the government not see it as what the spot really is? And so you have a lot of different areas that people are like, well, let's do a thing called gold backs, where it's 1/1000th a piece of gold in this note looking thing, and you can spend it and use it, and it's based on the daily, what spot is and stuff. And that's all cool and everything, but I think a lot of people just don't really understand that gold and silver have always been a commodity. They're always going to be a commodity.
So you don't think it's demand that drives the gold?
Well, that's a double-edged sword. Yeah. It's demand of other countries.
Oh, wow.
It's not you and I.
Okay.
We're chicken change.
Well, Mr. T's from the United States.
But that's chicken change compared to China, Japan, any of these other countries buying up the resources of those. And what a lot of people don't understand, it is a commodity. It's a commodity resource. It's like, call it pork bellies. That's a commodity. It actually is. Yeah. Right? Well, if you have 2 billion people in your country, you're probably going to eat a lot of pork belly. Right? Yeah. So that country's going to snap up a whole lot of that. Well, if electronics use silver and that country has 2 billion people and there's a whole lot of workers working and building these electronic components, they probably need a whole lot of silver. So even that demand in the commodity side of things goes to things like China and other India and other countries who are actually using the resources. Yeah. So you really have to look at it that way. Remember, we're all coddled U.S. people. We're Americans, and Americans, you don't live in other countries and see what they go through or what they do or how they live or whatever. And so to us, it's like, we just collect silver. We buy silver for investment. They're not doing that over there. Anywhere.
Yeah. But they're not heating up their French fries because they're cold either.
Right. And that's what I'm trying to say, is that they're actually using the commodity, whereas in the U.S. we're not necessarily using the commodity. Yeah. So this is all a game on paper and contracts and manipulated and things like that. But it's not in the foreign markets, and that's what makes me laugh, is that the foreign markets is the true market, I believe. Yeah. So when it hit 84, it's really worth 84, and they're really willing to pay that.
I'm curious to see when it does hit the 100. It's probably soon.
Yeah, I think it is soon too. But it's very interesting, and it's a fun topic. I mean, I've talked about it, but look, I'll tell you till I'm gray in the hair. Oh wait, I am gray. I'll tell you till I'm blue in the face. The fact of the matter is it's a hedge against inflation, which we as Americans should actually be looking at and going, oh crap,
how much money are
our
we printing?
Dollar is crap. Yep. If silver's $84 an ounce and gold's $4,500, that's bad.
Yes,
That's bad. Because remember, we're the standard. So
we're the gold standard.
We're the gold standard. No pun intended, right? And so in actuality, right, we are the standard of money across the world. And why we want our dollar to be as strong as possible. And you can go down the politics side of things, but I don't think this has anything to do with politics. And this is just in general, we printed too much money. There is many dollar bills out there. And, people are scrambling to find other things. I mean, they're even talking about doing ETFs for collectibles.
Yep. Yeah.
Like pools of collectibles. Like, let's call it the Superman 1 that just sold. $9.12 million. Put that into an ETF. You can buy ETF shares against that collectible.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right? And it can fluctuate, market fluctuate, the whole thing. So my point is, if they're talking about that, it's getting further and further away from the dollar. And that's scary.
Yeah. It's like the 80s baseball cards when they print too much.
Right. Nobody knew it, though, because there was no technology to let everybody know.
That's right.
Now there is. So now you can't hide. There's no hiding. There's no hiding.
That's right.
Especially you.
That's true.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, I try to blend in with the sign when I
Yeah.
can.
There you go.
So it's very, very interesting concepts and very interesting things. But I guess that's enough of my on my soapbox. But
Tell us what's happening with baseball.
We actually got 3 good products out this week, and it runs kind of the gamut here. Topps 5-star is out.
Holy moly.
And it is a different format than usual. It used to be just 2 cards, nice autographs, kind of, a couple $100. This year, they went big. 6 cards, 5 autographs, super high-end stuff. This is an expensive
like
box.
NT.
Whoa,
Sorry, Paul.
How much?
It's going to be, I think, $1,000.
It's out of your price range.
I'm
beautiful
good
stuff.
With it.
Absolutely gorgeous cards, thick patches. Oh, it's beautiful stuff.
And that's basketball or
That's
baseball?
Baseball.
So that hits. We have that in. That'll be available tomorrow. Top Star Wars Hyperspace. Very affordable product. Great. They cover the movies and the comics and the animated series and all like that.
Oh, wow.
It's a chrome card, really
Let me
nice
ask you
looking.
something real
On the
quick about
TCG stream, we'll be breaking a lot of that.
Let me
That
ask you
also
something
drops tomorrow.
go back to the 5-star real quick. Is that something that people can go in, buy, and for sure that's probably going to go up in the future?
It's hard to say with those kind of products. I mean, I don't think it goes down because you have that many guaranteed autos and it's a higher quality
With that configuration, baseball probably stays or goes up a little bit. If it was basketball,
yes, correct.
I would buy it and never open it. Oh my gosh, I have seen my Nathan in Spanish Fort. I have seen him hold cases of certain things like this and seen it double and triple and quadruple in price.
The only reason I'm not sure sealed long term on this one, it's a different format than it has been. So you got to break people's mindset of what 5-star was versus what it is.
Right, that's what I'm saying now.
Yeah, and you have a glut of baseball coming on the market right now, so it'll be a little while. But I mean, it's all good stuff.
Good stuff.
There is one
stuff.
more thing that drops tomorrow in our shop, and this is very affordable. It's my favorite card. You know what it is? Topps Merlin Soccer.
Yeah, Merlin
Best card stock they make. They do it in Europe. It's
beautiful
one thing
cards.
Europe does better than we do, but it's beautiful cards. Obviously, the greatest soccer players from around the world club, and Merlin always looks good. It's been around forever, and it is now part of the Topps family, so very high quality, a lot of big autograph signers. The blasters are out. We've had the hobby, and the hobby's $300 plus. The blasters are in like the $35, $40, $45 range. Very affordable, especially for our young soccer players in the area.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he was going to say La Boo Boo, La Fufu was your favorite.
Don't get me started on that.
But he didn't, so that kind of...
Definitely not.
So let me ask 2 questions. Okay, the first one is if you talked about a break. Was you talking about Star Wars? Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah. So we'll go on the TCG stream, and somebody will be like, "Oh, what's that new Star Wars?" And they'll be like, "I want to buy a box or I want to buy a pack," and then we'll actually live break it on the screen.
Oh wow!
And they get to see what they get, and then we ship them the cards.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So you seal it back up and then send it out.
Yeah.
Some people really like that because there's a communal aspect of it, of everybody getting to watch. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And then there are people who don't have card shops near them. Now, we have some of our people live right down the street.
They do.
And they just like doing it, communally on the stream, and it's fun, and it's a great thing. But like I said, there are people who will buy from us like that because they have nothing near them. And that way they have access to all these products and can get them opened,
Well, that's cool. We're going to go to the Red 7T's phone line. We've got a caller on the phone now that wants to ask Todd a question. Caller, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, what you got?
I'm trying. I'm back in the hog tree again.
I couldn't hear you.
I'm Bobby. I'm Hurricane
Oh, yeah,
Bobby.
okay.
All right, I'll lay out, Bobby. You don't have to yell at me again.
No, it's not doing that. Hey, I've been collecting cars my whole life, dude. I got like a trunk full of baseball cards. I mean, I got a '66 autographed Mickey Mantle. But I came across a box of cards not long ago. It's my Star Wars cards I got from 1974 that I've been collecting. And I came across this Luke Skywalker card, and I looked it up, and the value was like $700. It was like a headshot of Mark Hamill in his Stormtrooper uniform.
Correct.
And the price on it was like really high. It's in pretty good condition.
Yeah, that one, depending on the condition, is a pretty sought-after card because it was from that first run of Star Wars cards that they did, like you said, in the 70s. That one, there's a couple others from that set that stand out. It is all very condition-based, and a lot of the high sales are in the highly graded. But, I mean, Bobby, honestly, I won't say anything bad about Miami. If you want to bring it by the shop.
Come on now.
I know, I'm messing with you. If you want to bring it by the shop.
Luke Sager, he's win the game for us.
Yeah, I can certainly take a look at it for you, tell you, my thoughts, and we're a submitter to PSA, and we send Star Wars cards.
I got a bunch of the other ones too, and I'm just looking them up as I was looking them through them. And dude, I've had these cards since I was like 14 years old. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I was looking through them, and some of them were like the Death Star one was Darth Vader, worth a little pretty good money.
Yeah,
and they're not in great shape, but I've had it since I was 4 years old.
Yeah. The one thing I would tell you, and I know Todd will back me up on this, is two things. Number one, remember when they're grading a card, they're going to judge it based on what it looks like today. They're not going to weigh in like you and I will. This thing's 40-something years old. So, but the other thing is when you're looking up the prices, and this is a thing it took me a while to learn, you have to make sure you're clicking sold listings on eBay because a lot of times people will list cards for crazy amounts of money and then take them, a lot less.
Yeah, but how many cards are that old that are in that great a shape?
You'd be shocked.
More than you think, because a lot of times somebody will have opened them that day and they went in a chest and they've been somewhere in an attic or something like that for 50 years and somebody finds them, so... But
some of them I had like taped on my wall, like Princess Leia.
I bet you did.
I had it taped on the wall, so when I pulled the tape off, they ain't get your tape. But I got a bunch of them, but I like to have them checked out. Y'all are on 43rd Street?
We're on Back Beach Road, right next to Florida Linen. There on the beach, kind of near Home Depot and Lowe's.
11939 Panama City Beach Parkway.
Yeah.
There you go. Scream it out.
Alf Coleman is the major intersection nearby.
Yeah, right before it. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I got Charlie's Angels cards.
Mm-hmm. Those aren't
Kiss cards.
Yeah, a lot of those aren't quite as big.
It's what we call non-sport cards, and so they came out a lot of them in the 70s. Non-sports.
It's crazy. They made everything.
Hazard.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, hey, Bobby, we're up against a break, my friend, and we appreciate the call. And when we come back, we're going to discuss a lot more of the college football, and we got a little bit of NFL to discuss. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Alabama Crimson Tide and the Indiana Hoosiers will meet for the first time today in the Rose Bowl. It's a college football playoff quarterfinal.
Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins!
We'll have live play-by-play from Pasadena starting at 3 right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names?
Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Ask for special ESPN Northwest Florida pricing.
If you didn't receive those special gifts Santa promised you this Christmas, do you know those boots and shirts with all the accessories? Well, it's never too late to shop that boot store. The rack after rack of famous name brands, including Carhartt work clothes, awaiting your shopping pleasures. You haven't shopped for Western wear until you shop that boot store, offering a lot more than boots. Remember Joe's motto, always keep Jesus in your heart. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 5, Friday and Saturday, 9 to 5:30. Next to Bill Bird Kia on 15th Street.
Got a scratch, dent, or full-blown wreck? Bring it to Recommended Collision Center in Panama City. From small scratches to all-over paint jobs, from fender benders to major collisions, it's Recommended Collision Center. They work with all insurance companies and offer customer pay options too. A family-owned collision center that takes pride in top-quality repairs, friendly service, quick drop-offs, and a fast turnaround. So when life throws you a wreck, they'll help you get amended. Recommended Collision Center, 1329 Jinx Avenue, Panama City.
The College Football Playoff Quarterfinals. First on New Year's Eve, Miami faces Ohio State. Then on New Year's Day, it's Oregon versus Texas Tech.
Touchdown, Oregon!
Followed by Alabama, Indiana.
Touchdown! The Hoosiers take the lead!
Then Ole Miss faces Georgia.
College football playoff quarterfinals start Wednesday at 6 with Miami versus Ohio State. Right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida airs the biggest games of the week from the SEC, ACC, and beyond. If it matters in college football, it's on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
We are back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your spot for Monday Night Football. The Rams at the Falcons tonight. Following the show, don't forget. Also, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 7 Tees phone line, 850-215-6290. Also, don't want you to forget, in about 2 minutes, did you hear that? I said 2 minutes, we're going to give away our Christmas prize pack. We're calling it now the New Year prize pack. Buffalo Rock, Anytime Fitness, Recommended Collision Center, that boot store, and the Lone Star Boil House. We're going to be doing that in just a moment. When you listen on this show, you can win big prizes. I've heard some good prizes are coming in January too, like some big-time Orlando Magic tickets, which I'm getting excited about because I want to go see them boys play eventually. Don't you, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I was just thinking about the Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
They got the last home game this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Could be a big game. Yeah, big one. So let's look at it. So out of all of the playoff games, which game are you for sure saying 100% this team is going to win?
Georgia.
It's probably Georgia. Yeah, I don't know if I'm for sure 100% on any of them. That's the one that seems the most likely to me.
Because of beating them already, or they're just a better team?
I think so.
Does it have anything to do with the coaching staff?
No, but I do think some of that edge that you would have with first game with the new staff will be off a little bit. The thing that'll be good for Ole Miss is playing at the Sugar Bowl. I do think that is good for Ole Miss, but I don't know. Georgia's been in this situation so many times. Ole Miss, not as much, obviously. I don't know. That's the one I'd say if you had to pick one that seems the most likely, that's the one I'd probably.
And the crazy part is Ohio State's the 9.5-point favorite.
That's crazy. That's a lot of points.
Indiana over Alabama's 7. This is the third biggest spread.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not big. 6.5 is what Georgia's favorite by. So the close spread is the game that you're saying is a blowout. It's Texas Tech and Oregon.
That's crazy. Now, we are going to stop right now and give away the prize pack. Here we go. We're going to take caller number 10, 850-215-6290. If you want to go ahead and call, we're going to start the phone lines right now. Buffalo Rock, Anytime Fitness, $100 recommended collision center voucher, that boot store, the $25 Lone Star Boyle House, all of those are on the air right now. Go ahead, call in, and win the prize pack. We're ready to go. That's a great point. When you talk about how different it looks to us compared to what Vegas is saying is the scary part. That's the biggest scary part about it all. And when you think, if you think that, to me, that Oregon-Texas Tech game is the easiest game to call. And I know you're big on their defense, and I haven't been. And it's just going to be which Oregon team is going to show up. That's really probably the question. I think you're going to get what you get out of Texas Tech. But I mean, watching BYU play Georgia Tech, for me, that let me know that Texas Tech wasn't that great.
See, I disagree. I think they actually are really good. And I think we're going to see it. Oregon, I don't like the way they took their eye off the ball in their game against James Madison. I really don't. And I think they're going to need that. The problem with Texas Tech is they haven't had a lot of nationally broadcast games. I mean, yeah, BYU, they dominated them both times. The only game they lost this year was to Arizona State, at Arizona State, without their starting quarterback. And they were in that game late. Arizona State was not a bad football team this year. They weren't great. It wasn't a great loss. But that was it. I think talent-wise, you look at those linebackers that they have are unbelievable. I think their offense is really clicking, or was there at the end of the season, putting up good points. I know they haven't seen a team quite like Oregon, but I'm just not that sold on this Oregon team. But, still, I don't know that it's a dunk because I haven't seen these teams as much. I think the reason I'm the most solid about the Georgia Ole Miss games is two teams I've seen a million times.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have a better idea.
Yeah. So do you think it's going to be closer, or as far as the Texas Tech-Oregon game, or do you think it's going to be one or the other?
Okay, so here's the deal. 2.5 point spread. Is this game going to be that close? No, it's not. You want me to place a bet? I'll bet it on the over 51.5 on Oregon, Texas Tech. You're saying Oregon's going to score a lot of points. 51.5, that's easy. I mean, we're talking about a 27 to 24. That's 51 points right there.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to score in the 30s in this game.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. And the way Texas Tech shut down BYU in the championship game is because of turnovers. 5? I mean, come on.
Some of those were forced. Some of them wasn't. I don't know if you realize how bad. When you watch BYU play Georgia Tech and then you watch BYU play Texas Tech, it looked like two totally different teams. It was almost like they were scared of Texas Tech, honestly, because they were just, at times they were running and they just dropped the ball. It wasn't, he didn't get it knocked out, he didn't get it punched out, he didn't make a dynamic move. It was just, I don't understand it. I don't know if they're players. And the thing about that made me crazy was how that in the Texas Tech game, it just seemed like the momentum of what Texas Tech was doing, just kind of like it was almost like it was when you're out in the Gulf and you get taken under on an undertow. It was just once they kind of it just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming, and it wasn't that they were so awesome. It was just how BYU just self-destructed.
Yeah,
and that's
I don't know. The whole, at least almost to halftime, really. It looked like Texas Tech was on, I don't want to say speed, but they were really, really fast. And BYU was scrappy. They wanted to win that championship game bad, and they looked like they were trying to always chase after them, and that's where it got sloppy.
They've been able, through the money they've been able to invest, put together the roster that is the closest thing to a Big Ten or SEC type of talent roster coming out of the Big 12. They have the closest thing to that.
Yeah.
And that's what, and so with the other game, though, with the Alabama-Indiana game, to me, that one, even though the spread is what it is,
7,
it just seems like it's hard to know. It's like even like, to me, the worst game, and you got the number one in the team. Am I using old bias with Alabama?
Sure.
Or is Indiana that much better than Alabama?
I think Indiana's really good. I'm actually surprised the spread's that big because typically nationally a lot of money gets bet on Alabama because of their name. Now, I don't necessarily know why that is. Bama usually gets overbet in Vegas. They just do because they're a name. Same way the Yankees do and different things like that. They get overbet because of their name. So it being 7 was a little bit surprising. That also may tell me smart money's waiting.
Yeah.
They're waiting for news and interest to come out of there. I do think Indiana's a really good team.
If I'm going to put money on an underdog, it's Bama.
Yeah.
Out of these 4 games.
And that's what's crazy to me is that they are the underdog, which, if you remember the Oklahoma-Alabama game, Alabama was a 1.5-point favorite. And then 2 days before the game was to be played, it flipped, and it went 1.5. Do you think we're going to see those games not flip, but is it going to start pulling down?
It'll pull.
You think it's going to pull?
No, it won't pull to 3. It'll pull to maybe 5.5 or 6 because 7's such a unique number, and the money will come in on the dog at that. So I don't see this staying at 7.
5.5.
I see it 5.5 to 6. I don't think it's going to pull much because there's still a lot of people, as big a name as Alabama is, there's a lot of people nationally who are still mad that Alabama got him with 3 losses because they don't understand how an extra game works. And I'll be honest with you, I don't consider Texas Tech Oregon an upset either way. That's almost a pick 'em for me, even though I like Texas Tech. I'm not so sure. I mean, this is going to sound like me, groveling back here to our caller, but of the 3, I think the most likely upset would be Miami. Because I think this is the most likely to be a very tight game. I can see Indiana blowing Bama out if Bama does some of the things I've seen this year. I could see Georgia pulling away from Ole Miss the way that they can, and they've already played this year.
Okay, blowout? I mean, does Indiana have to score 30 for how they have a blowout?
I'm just saying, Indiana can score points if they need to.
30 on Bama?
But how many times have we seen Alabama just give the ball away? I mean, honestly, this last game was the first time they protected it in about 6 weeks.
And see, for me, the game
I don't think it's going to play out that way. I think that's more likely. To me, that Ohio State-Miami game, that's going to be a tight game regardless.
See, I could see that one getting out of hand if Carson Beck plays the Carson Beck that we've known him to do in big games.
Look, anything can happen.
Right. I don't see Ohio State getting blown out. I don't see Indiana getting blown out. I don't see Georgia getting blown out. And I don't see Oregon getting blown out.
I think
those are the 4 teams.
I think the strength of the defenses in the Ohio State-Miami game is going to necessitate it being a lower scoring game. That's why I think it's closer. I could see if Alabama turns the ball over the way they did a lot down the stretch, Indiana is one of the most opportunistic teams in the country with stuff like that.
Let me just say this. Brittany Thompson has won our prize pack. We are so thankful for her. She's not on the line, but Randy was able to talk to her. Randy doesn't know how we do it, so it's okay. We'll let him slide this time. Bone Crusher does a better job at that.
Just remember this. Here's the thing about it. With Miami, Carson Beck, if you watched him the last 3 or 4 games in Miami, he's in a groove. He's probably playing his best football right now. And that's why I think that Miami's going to end up beating Ohio State. Did you watch Ohio State against Indiana?
I did.
I mean, they embarrassed them.
They did.
Indiana embarrassed Ohio State.
I think the things that they were able to do that other teams didn't do because they didn't have the ability to do it, I think that's what really helped Indiana. But I think when they play, I think Miami is going to have a lot bigger, because I think they've got the athletes to play against them. But anyway, let me say this. AutoNation Ford, Panama City, they are awesome when it comes to selling you vehicles, new or used. Go see them, 730 West 15th Street, right there at the railroad tracks. Also, don't forget, Recommended Collision Center. If you've got anything going on with your vehicle, whether it's just a door won't open right, a window won't roll down, it's about to get cold, those door handles break, break all the time. Mira's break as well. Go see Brandon and those guys over there. Also, don't forget to log on to the ESPN Northwest Florida app. Click on the Little League app, and that'll take you to the Little League of Panama City baseball and softball. You want to make sure you sign up for them so that you can have an awesome, awesome spring season. It starts in March. It won't be long. January 10th is the last day to sign up. But either way, I think these games are going to be really good. I think they got it right this year. I think this year's second round is going to be way better than last year's second round due to the way they had it set up. With
you don't have the bad buys.
Yeah. So either way, that's it for today. We will be back tomorrow. Don't forget, right here, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, all the way through. You listen to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida.